Hello everyone, welcome to Data Detectives. Let's first of all see how our dashboard will look like and what will be the final product of this project. So here we can see that this is our final dashboard that has been created in Power BI. Here we can see that there are number of KPIs, that is total revenue, total orders, pizza sold, average total order value and average number of pizzas per order. So we will be generating these KPIs in SQL as well as Power BI. Then we will create some visualizations by category to understand what is the total revenue and also the total revenue by size. So we will be creating these charts. Also, we will be looking out which is the top revenue pizza for our pizza restaurant as well as which is the top ordered pizza in our restaurant. Okay. However, these visualizations will be dynamic by changing these parameters. Here we will use the parameter of Power BI to change different dynamic measures from total revenue to total orders to pizzas sold, and so on. Also, we will be creating some slicers to filter out and check dependencies of KPIs on different factors, that is start of the month. Here we will be giving the month wise bifurcation. Then we will see the week wise distribution. Also we will see the distribution of revenue and orders by the category. If we select the chicken, if we select supreme, classic, veggie, we will see all the different values for different categories. Okay. In the same dashboard, we will be creating total revenue and orders on the basis of month bifurcation as well as the day wise distribution, as well as the hourly trend of orders in a particular day. Also, we will be comparing our monthly revenue, monthly orders, monthly sales, as well as the average order value in accordance with the previous month. So we will be using KPI cards for the same. Also, in the dashboard we will be generating the product details. That is, if we want to drill through on a particular type of pizza, we can see the performance of that pizza on the basis of revenue and orders and what is the distribution of different sizes that it served to the customers by using the drill through option in Power BI. You can see that the dashboard is completely dynamic, that is, it is changing on the basis of different parameters that are changed in the dashboard. So in the previous video, we completed with the data analytics part in SQL. If you haven't watched the video yet, you can go in the description and you can watch the first part of this video series so that you can be acquainted with the data analysis of this data set. Now in this video, we are going to do the visualization part as well as some data analytics part of the same data set, that is pizza sales for a restaurant in Power BI. Okay. So to start with, what we are going to do is first we will import our data. So let's go in the get data and let's import our data. As our data is already clean and we don't have any null values and duplicate values, so we are not connecting it with SQL Server. We are directly importing our data, and the files are also very small, so we can do the import process instead of direct query mode. Okay, so let's import the pizza file first. This is the preview of the file, and let's transform the data first in Power Query Editor, then we will load it to Power BI. So in the Power Query Editor, you can see our table pizzas. So pizza ID is the column header, and it is the unique ID for this table. Then we have pizza type ID, then we have the size of the pizza, then we have the price of the pizza. You can see that the Power BI has already identified the data type of these column headers, like pizza type, pizza ID is text data type. Then we have pizza type ID, which is also a text data type. Then we have the size, which is also a text data type because it contains small, medium, large. Then we have the price, which is a number data type or integer data type because it contains the unit price. Okay, so we need not to do any transformation in the data. When we hover on this green line, we can see that all the values are valid. There is no empty values as well as there is no null values, so we can directly import our data in Power BI before doing any transformation. So let's close and apply. So our pizzas file has been imported. Now let's import the next data, that is the pizza types. Let's open it. So this is the preview. In the preview already you can see that the Power BI has not identified the first row as a column header. So we will transform it using the Power Query Editor. It's a common practice to open the file and transform and clean the data first in Power Query Editor, then load the data in Power BI. So you can see the same, that the column header is not identified. So what we will do is we will click on this table icon and we will click on use first row as headers. So what it will do is it will add a step, that is the first row has been converted into the column headers. Now if you don't know this table, you can see the previous video, or I will summarize here also. That is, this is the pizza type ID, then we have the name of the pizza, then we have the category in which the pizza belongs to, whether it is chicken, classic, supreme or veggie, and then we have the ingredients available. Okay, so also there is no need to do any transformation here, so we will just close and apply. Okay, so the pizzas type table has also been uploaded. Now let's import the another table, that is the orders table. So here you can see that the orders table contains of order ID, which is unique, then we have the date, then we have the time. Okay, so let's first see in the Power Query Editor. So you can see that the order ID is number, integer data type. Then the Power BI has already identified that this column date is a date data type. Okay, and the time column is a time data type column. So we don't have to do any transformation, so we'll just close and apply the same. Okay, so our orders table has also been imported. Now let's import a last file, that is the order details, which contains the order details. So it contains order details ID, then it contains the order ID, then it contains the pizza ID, then it contains the quantity. So we can go on the transform data to check if there is any transformation or cleaning required on the data. So this is our data. It contains order details ID, which is a number or integer data type. Then we have the order ID, which is also a numerical data type. Then we have the pizza ID, that is the text data type. Then we have the quantity of the pizza. So in this table also there is no need to do any transformation. We will just close and apply. Okay, so all our files has been imported. We can go on the table view and we can view our files. So this is the order details, then we have the orders table. Okay, then we have the pizza types table. Okay, and then we have the pizzas table. Okay, so to start our data analysis part, what we will do is we will first create a table, that is the calendar table, or we can say a date table, which is our central table for this complete data set. Okay, so we will click on the new table for the purpose of creating a table. Now we will write dates, or we can write calendar. Okay, and here we will add calendar. Now this function text formula requires start date and the end date, but we don't know how to give the date in a how to give the date in which format. Okay, so what we will do is we will go on the date, and now we know the format. First we have to give the year. As you have done the data analysis in the same data set, you know that the table contains the data for the year 2015 starting from January 1st and ending till December 31st. So we will give the same data here. So the year will be 2015, then the month, starting month should be 01, and the day should also be 01. We will close this and we will also give the end date. So for the end date we will add date, and here we will give the ending date as 2015, month should be 12, and the date should be 31st. Okay, there is various methods to add a calendar table. I am describing the simplest method to add the data table, to add the calendar table. So this should generate our calendar. Okay, as you can see that we have all the dates available with us. So now what we will do is we will add some of the basic requirements or some of the basic columns that is required in our calendar table. So we will click on the new column, and the first column that we need is start of the month. Okay, so we will write start of the month, and here we will give start of the month. We need date, so we will write the date, calendar date, and we will close. Okay, so for January 1st, the start of the month is January 1st. However, for January 2nd, the start of the month is 1st January only. If we come on the Feb month, so here you can see that it's changed to 1st of February. Okay, so this is the start of the month. Now let's add another column, and here we want week name. So for the week name we will go on the weekday, and here we will get our weekday. So here we will give the date. So date is what, we the date is calendar date, and the type is, now what we want as a type. If we want to start our day from Sunday, so it should be 1. If we want to start our day from Monday, so it should be 2. Or if we start from Monday from 0 to 6, we can give 3. So let's give 2 and close. So this column will give the weekday. Okay, now if we want to get the name of the month as well as the name of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and for month, for Jan, Feb, March, what we can do is we can format the same. So let's come on the date column and let's add another column, and it should take month name. So what we will do is we will format our date column. So we will write, one second, in the month name we will write calendar date, and the format we need is we will write MMMM. So it should give the name of the month. So here you can see that we get the name of the month, that is January, February, March, and so on. Now if we want to check the week name, also weekday name also, we will come on the new name, new column, and we will add week name, weekday name. So weekday name should be, so to get the weekday name, what we will do is we will format, and we will give the value calendar dot date, and here we will write, for month we have given MMMM, for day we will give DDDD. So it will give the full name of the day. Okay, you can see that starting from Monday, the weekday number is 1 and the weekday name is Monday. Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So initially we want these columns only for our calendar table. Let's now move on to the model view and let's model our data. Okay, So in the data modeling, what we will need is one table we need as a fact table, where we will do all the aggregation and all the calculation on the columns, and other tables needs to be our dimensions, or we can say our lookup table, which will give the filters or the categories that we want to filter our data. Okay, so here we are considering that order details table are facts table. So Power BI has already identified some relationships. Let's delete it and we will ourselves model our data. So let's first of all delete all the relationships that has been created by Power BI. Let's remove this also, and let's remove this also. Okay, so we have placed the order details here. Now we will place pizzas here, pizza types and orders here. Let's rearrange the blocks. So let's place orders here and the pizza id here, then we can place pizza type somewhat here, and let's also use the calendar table here. Okay, so as order details table is our facts table, so let's connect the tables. Let's hide this also so it will be visible properly. Okay, so let's hold this and leave it here, and this will create a relationship between the orders table and the order details table. So here you can see that we have created a one to many relationship between the order id and between the orders table and the order details table using the order id column. So what it means that the flow of data is in this direction, and we have one to many relationship. That is, here there is only single order id, and here it will contains different rows for single order id. Similarly, for the pizzas table, we will use the pizza ID column for creating the relationship. Let's hold it and leave it here. So this will create also a one-to-many relationship, and we can see the flow of data. This means that the data can be filtered in this table using the pizzas table, but the reverse is not possible. That is, we can't do any aggregation and filter our data using the order details table. Okay, now let's create a relationship between pizza and pizza types. So we will use the pizza id to create the same relationship. Okay, so here there is a flow in this direction and then in this direction. Okay, now how to connect the calendar table? Let's connect the calendar table and orders table using the date. So here we will do this. So this has also created a one to many relationship between the calendar table and the orders table. So here you can see that this is our facts table, that is order details table. Then these all are our lookup tables for this order details facts table. So this is our data modeling. Now what we will do is we will start our visualization and creating measures. So let's go on the report view and let's first create our measure table. So to create all the measures and to store all the measures in a one place, what we will do is we will create a measures table. So let's right click on enter data, and in the enter data let's write the name of the table as measures table. Okay, we will load it. So this has created our measures table. Now it doesn't contain any data, so let's right click and create our first measure, that is the total revenue measure. in the SQL analysis also, we started our analysis by calculating the total revenue. So how we have calculated the total revenue in SQL? We have used the quantity as well as the price. We multiplied the same and we then aggregated all the quantity and the price multiplication using the sum function in SQL. Same we will do here. So let's write total revenue, and here we will use sumx function. Okay, so sumx function we will do the row wise summation of the columns that we provided. So the table that needs to be given is order details table. Okay, and what will be the expression? Now to give the expression, what we need to do is we need to multiply the quantity with the price. So we know the quantity is available in the order details table, and if we want to multiply it with price, we don't have the price. So how we will do it? We will extract the price from the pizzas table. So how we can do this? We will use the related function. So the related function is similar to the VLOOKUP function in Excel. In VLOOKUP, what we do this, we extract the data from one table to another table based on the columns that are same in the another table. Similarly here, related table will do that. It will extract all the prices of the pizza that are available in the order details table row by row wise. So and now what we want related to, we want related, and here we will give the price. Okay, so on giving the pizzas dot price, it will extract the price of the pizza from the same. So here let's write price and close this related function, then close this sumx function. So this creates our total revenue measure. We can also add a calculated column in the order details table for our price, but we don't need to increase our model complexity. So we are using the sumx function. So as the total revenue is a measure, we can't see its data. So to visualize the data, what we will do is we will create a card. So this is the card, and if we fill our fields with the total revenue, it should give our data. Here the total revenue is $817.86 thousand. We can format it. Let's go on total revenue. Let's make it dollars, so it should be in currency. And let's limit our decimal places to only two decimal places. Okay, so this is our total revenue. Now let's create another measure, that is total number of orders. So to calculate the total number of orders, we have to calculate all the distinct counts in the order details table. Okay, it's the same we have done in the SQL analysis also. So we are just repeating the same. Let's create total. So here we will write, for creating total matter, for creating total orders measure, what we have to count is we have to count the distinct orders that is available in the total orders details table. So what we will do is we will count the distinct orders in which table? Order details table. So here we will go on the order details, and here we will add order ID. Now let's close and see how many orders are available in the pizza restaurant. So instead of total revenue, let's add here total orders. So 21,000 orders are available. So to see without any formatting, what we will do is we will click on the format. We will go on the more options. For the callout value, instead of display units as auto, we will click to none. So here you can see that there are 21,350 orders. Okay, and if we want to place a comma, let's insert a comma. Okay, so we have calculated total orders. Now we will calculate number of pizzas sold. So for that also we will create a new measure. These all are KPIs that are important for our dashboard. That's why we are creating using these. That's why we are creating these using measures. Okay, so for the new measure, we will write pizzas sold. And how to calculate pizzas sold? We will just sum the quantity. So let's add quantity and let's close this and enter. So this should give the total number of pizzas sold. Now change from orders table to, let's go on pizzas sold. So here you can see that 49,574 pizza has been sold in the year 2015. Okay, now let's calculate another KPI by creating a new measure, and that will be average order value. So to calculate average order value, what we have to do is, for average order value, what we have to do is we have to divide. So we will use divide DAX formula, and here we will give total revenue, and in the denominator we will give total orders. So it should give our average order value. So to format our average order value, what we will do is we will place a currency sign for the same, and we will limit our decimal places up to 2 decimal places. Okay, and now let's change the field. Now here add average order value. So here you can see that the average order value is $38.31. Now let's create our last KPI, that is average number of pizzas sold per order. So to calculate the same, what we will do is we will just divide pizza sold by total orders. So it should give average pizzas sold. So for that we will use the same divide function. For numerator we will give pizzas sold, and for denominator we will give total orders. Let's close this and run this. As we don't want any decimal places, we will give 0. And let's change the field data. Let's change the field data and let's add here our average pizza sold. So we get that average pizza solds are 2 numbers. Okay, so now we have created all our KPIs required for our dashboard. If any other measure is required, we will create at that time only. These are the main KPIs that is required. So let's delete this column as we don't no longer need it. Let's delete it. Okay, so we have deleted it. Now what we will do is we will create our dashboard. So first of all, let's insert some shapes. So here we will using a rounded rectangle. Let's minimize the size a bit. Let's arrange it here, and to format it, let's go on format. Let's click on format, and for the shape style, if we want to reduce our rounded corners, let's limit it to 15%, and instead of blue color, let's add black color. Okay, we don't want borders, so let's remove the borders. We don't want any text action, so this is complete. Now let's add a new KPI card that has been added in our Power BI. So here we will add a new KPI card, and what are the data we will give it? First of all, we will give it total revenue, then we will add total orders, then we will add pizza sold, then we will add average order value, and then we will add average pizza sold. Okay, so these are the KPIs that are required on our front dashboard. Let's format this also. Let's click on format. Let's first of all come to the shape, size and style. We don't want any background, so we will remove the background. Now let's come on the call out. For all values we want middle alignment, and for the total revenue, so first of all let's reduce this font to 32, which I think is perfect for this dashboard. And for, you can see that for the total orders we want our display units as none, so we can change it to none. For pizza sold also, let's change the custom display units from auto to none, and all are perfect. Okay, so these are the fonts that we needed. We want labels, we want values, so this is perfect. We can change the color also. Let's change the color from black to this color, and we want to this apply this setting for all. So this is our color. Let's try to impose it on this. So let's come on border. We don't border also, and we don't canvas background also. So let's change it. Let's select, we want no fill, so let's remove this also. And what we have to do is, for the labels, let's change the color from lightish gray to white, so it seems perfect like this. So this is our KPIs. Okay, so let's insert a logo. We will go on image. You can select any logo you want, as it is a fictional restaurant. I have a logo. Let's add this. Let's reduce its size a bit and arrange it here. We can reduce the size of this also, and this also. Let's send it back. So if we click on this, let's go and format, and let's send it backward. Send backward. Okay, so this is our KPIs that is required for our executive dashboard. Okay, now what we will do is, we will add some other charts. So let's some other charts for this dashboard. First of all, let's go to stacked bar chart. Okay, So to go for what fields we need for this stack bar chart, we want uh, our revenue and orders based on our categories. So for y-axis we will search for categories. So here we will add categories, and for the x-axis let's add total revenue. Okay, so you can see that the highest revenue uh, is for classic category. We can format our table, so we don't want zoom slider, and let's keep the category title as it is. Let's add data labels also. Let's come on more options, and what we will do is let's change the color of the bars. So from this we can switch to somewhat lighter, that should add with our pizza topping. So I think this color is perfect. And what else we should do, let's remove the title from y-axis. Also let's remove the title from x-axis. I think this is perfect. Also let's remove uh, range is fine. We don't want zoom sliders. We have added data labels. We can keep the title in the middle, so this is perfect. Okay, similarly what we can do is we can copy paste this chart that we have created, and what we can do is instead of category we can add here size. So let's add size. So this give the description of total revenue by size. So we can see that the large size is most popular, then we have middle, medium size, then we have small, then we have XL, and then we have double XL. Okay, we can change the formatting here also. Let's change the color. So for the bar colors, let's change some other topping color. Let's make it lightish red. So I think this is perfect. Okay, this is perfect. We have created total revenue by category as well as the total revenue by size. Okay, now let's add, now we will create a table that will give us the total revenue and the total orders by the pizza name. So let's click on the table. This should insert a table, and let's place it here, and let's make it a bit large. And now let's add some columns. So first of all we will add the pizza names. So this will add all the pizzas that are available with us in this restaurant. And now let's add other data. So the other data will be, first will be our total revenue, and the next data will be the total orders. Okay, so this is the bifurcation of the revenues and the orders by pizza name. So here you can see that the barbecue chicken pizza is seems to have the highest revenue. So to check which pizza has the highest revenue or which pizzas have the highest orders, we can create a simple card that will give us the name of only that pizza that has the highest revenue. So for that purpose let's introduce a card. Okay, this is a card, and here what we will add is we will add the pizza name. Okay, this is our pizza name. Let's minimize the font little bit and make it 32, 3, 2. It's still a big. Let's make it 30. Okay, so this is fine. So the barbecue chicken pizza is showing, however it is actually showing in the alphabetical order. Okay, so it's not showing the pizza with the highest revenue, it's showing the pizza in a alphabetical order. So to how to filter the pizza with the highest revenue, we will use the filter pane. So here what we will do is we have to add the filters on this visual. So in this visual we have to add the filter on the name, and in the filter type what we want to do is we want the top n pizza. So as we want the first pizza, so we will add top one pizza, and by value, by which value we want the top pizza, by total revenue. So here we will add total revenue and then we will apply filter. So now you can see the Thai chicken pizza has the highest revenue. We can verify it by clicking on total revenue and sorting in a descending order. We can see that the highest revenue is for Thai chicken pizza, which has $43,434. Okay, now we can format this cart a little bit. Let's remove the category label, and what we can do is uh, let's change its color. We can choose some other pizza topping, or we can choose any color. Let's make it lighter, and let's also change the background from white to black so it can be clearly visible. We can add a shadow also. Okay, so the Thai chicken pizza has the highest revenue. Okay, let's make the color a bit brighter. Let's select a greenish font. Okay, this is perfect, I think. Okay, so the Thai chicken pizza has the highest revenue. Now if we want, let's adjust these charts so that it is looking good. Let's make a bit smaller and let's align it with this. Okay, perfect. And make it this. Let's We can reduce the size a bit more. Let's make it 25. It seems perfect. Okay, so this is the pizza with highest revenue. We can here add a text also, which will be high top revenue pizza. Okay, we can change the font. Let's change the font to this and make it bold, and let align it with this. So let's move it. This is our top revenue pizza. Similarly, we can add a pizza with top orders. So let's copy paste this and keep it here. And in the filter section, if we go, instead of total revenue, what we can add is we can add the data, and instead of total revenue we can add total orders. And let's apply the filter and see which is the highest top ordered pizza. So we can see that the classic delic pizza has the highest orders. We can verify this from here also. When we arrange the table in the descending order of total orders, we can see that the classic delic pizza has highest orders, which is 2329. Okay, similarly we can create a description or the title for the same just by copying it here, and let's increase the size, and let's write here top ordered pizza. Okay, so this gives us our top ordered pizza. Now let's arrange little bit lower. Perfect. Now if you want the least ordered pizza, what you can also do, just copy paste the same. Let's arrange it here and this keep it here, and let's arrange it here. So to check for the least ordered pizza, what we will do is just instead of top, we will change it to bottom. And when we apply the filter, the berry curry pizza is the least ordered pizza. Okay, let's copy paste it, and least revenue pizza is our berry curry pizza. And similarly, if we want to calculate for the least ordered pizza, we can copy paste and let's place it here, and let's change the name to least ordered pizza. And for the card, in the name section, instead of total revenue, we will add total orders, and when we apply we will get the same pizza. So we can check it. If we arrange this table with the ascending order of total orders, we can see that we got the same pizza. Similarly, if we arrange this revenue in the ascending order, we get the same answer. So to differentiate between top and revenue, let's format it a bit so that it can be differentiated. We can make it a light gray so that it seems different from the other. Okay, so it's looking nice, the dashboard is looking nice. Now we will see some conditional formatting. So we can add conditional formatting in this in this table, where the revenue and orders are available on the basis of the pizza name. So how we can do this? Let's do some conditional formatting. When we come in the format section, you can see there is one point, that is cell elements. Okay, so if we want to do the total revenue and we want to apply settings on total revenue, we can add background color, we can change the font color on the basis of the revenue, we can add data bars, then we can add icons, then we can add web URL also. So let's add a background color that will give us the least and the highest revenue. So if we see the default, you can see the default is the darker the color of the blue, the more is the revenue. We can change and make it a bit similar with our let us make it bit similar with our complete dashboard. So we can change the background color by using fx, and if want lowest value as white, and we want a greenish shade for the highest value. So let's make it again. It's look nice, and this is perfect. So as the shade gets lighter, it means it has the lowest revenue. Similarly, we can do for total orders. So what we can do is, let's format the total orders and make it on data bars. So when we add data bars, you can say that the longer the data bar, the more is the total orders. So we don't have negative orders, so there is no problem with that. For positive data bar, we can add a darker shade. So let's make it a bit purple. It's not looking nice. Let's make a different color, make a shade of red, and make it okay. This is looking great. The longer the data bar, the higher the revenue, higher the number. Okay, so the dashboard is almost complete. Only slicers are required to be added. So let's add some slicers. So let's go on home and let's search for the slicers. Slicers will filter the data based on some categories. So slicers is here. And for slicers, first of all, let's add a month slicer. So we can add from the calendar, and we can add here start of the month. We can add month name. So let's add month name as a slicer, and we can change the slicer setting from vertical list to a drop down. Drop down will look perfect. And for the selection, we can show a select all also, and we can do a multi select also. So this is our one slicer. You can see that when we select, if we want to select April, you can see all the values, all the charts are changed according to the April month. You can see that the revenue has decreased. The total number of our orders are 1799. Pizza sold, we get the top revenue pizza, we get the top ordered pizza accordingly. Also we get the revenue by size as well as the category. Okay, so let's switch back it to select all. Now let's add another slicer, but just by copy pasting it. And the another slicer can be, let's add the another slicer as weekday name. So this will give a weekday. We can see for Friday, Monday, Saturday, and so on. Okay, we can apply both the slicers. Like the if we want to see the sales for August month and for the day Friday. So here is our sales. So for the Friday of August month, we can see that the pepperoni pizza is the highest revenue as well as the ordered pizza. Okay, so this will give some conclusions as required by the management. Also we can add one more slicer on the basis of category. So let's add a category slicer also. Instead of weekday name, the data will be category. So here we will select category, and instead of making it a drop down, we can make it a tile based. So this will be our tile based slicer. So on selecting a particular category, we can see the performance of our pizzas. So if we want to see for the veggie pizza, all the charts will be affected, and we can see that. Let's remove the slicers, and if we want the performance of veggie pizza, you can see that the 4 cheese pizza is the highest revenue pizza. Similarly, for the least revenue and the least order, the green garden pizza and the Mediterranean pizza is the least revenue pizza. Okay, similarly we can see what is the category wise revenue, and we can see also the size wise revenue. Okay, we can back to select all. So by this, we have created a complete executive dashboard which will give an hawk eye view for our complete sales of pizza restaurant. Okay, later on we will add one more parameter that will switch over this chart on the basis of dynamic measures. That is, if we want to see the total orders on the basis of category instead of total revenue, we can add this by a parameter. Okay, so let's move to the next chart, and the next chart will be our seasonal trend. So let's duplicate this page. Let's remove this and make it a seasonal trend chart. Okay, so for seasonal trend, let's remove all these charts that we have created for the executive dashboard. We will remove the slicers, and we will be controlling all charts by our slicers on the executive dashboard only. So we don't want slicer on every page. Okay, let's remove this chart also. We don't want this. Also we don't want this. Let's remove this also. We don't want this. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Okay, let's keep the KPIs, top KPIs as it is. Now we want the seasonal trend, that is how much the revenue is changing on month to month basis. Okay, so for that purpose, we will add a line chart, and here let's make it some large, and let's add an x-axis. And what will be our x-axis? The date will be our x-axis. Okay, so there is an given already an hierarchy in the date, that is year, quarter, month and day. And let's add a y-axis, that will be our total revenue. Okay, so this is the chart that is available with us. When we drill down to this chart, let's drill down to the next level. Let's drill up. So now you can see the day wise representation of total revenue by year, quarter, month and date. If we hover on any of the point, we will see the total revenue of that day. Okay, so for May 20, that occurs in the second quarter of year 2015, the total revenue is $2,373. We can modify our chart a little bit. Let make the line stroke a smaller, so it can be more cleaner look. So I think this is looking great. Okay, this is looking great. And also, we don't want to end data labels, we can change the color also. Let's change the color. If you want the x-axis and y-axis title, you can keep it. Let's remove it, so we know this is a year. Also for y-axis, let's remove the title. We know it's a total revenue as we are seeing it on the top. Let's align it in middle. Okay, it's looking perfect. Let's add a zoom slider so that we can zoom on a particular part, but it has added a slider on x and y axis both. So let's remove the zoom slider from y axis. We don't want the zoom slider on y axis. It's looking perfect. We can change the color as per our requirement. So to align it with the same, let's add a yellowish color. Okay, this is perfect. Now we can add a trend line also. We can add a trend line as well as the forecast option also. So if we click on the trend line, you can see the trend is almost constant throughout the year. There is no much change in the sales or in the revenue of the pizza restaurant. So we can change the transparency level of this trend line so that it don't merge with our existing chart. So it's looking perfect. By this, we have added a trend line of our revenue chart. We can add a forecast also. By forecasting, me what it I mean is that it will forecast on the basis of confidence level and on the basis of the previous data, that how it will perform in the next month or in the next upcoming quarter or week, as you want. So you can see that this is our forecast section that we have created. So you can change the confidence level also. You can change it from 95% to 99% to increase our range of our forecasting. Okay, so this is looking nice. We have checked the total revenue by year, quarter, month and day. Okay, so now if we want to check our revenue on the basis of weekdays, so what we will do is we will add a matrix. Let's place it here. And for the rows, what we want is we want weekdays. So let's add a weekday name. So this is the weekday name. And for columns, let's add the R. So here in this matrix, we want how the pizza restaurant is performing on in a particular day. That is what is the R by R trend. So here we will select the R. So how we can select is, you see that we have the time available with us. Okay, but if we add the time, it will show all the times, all the unique or the distinct times that is available with us. So for that purpose, we have to create a new measure, or we can add a column also. We will create a calculated column in the orders table to get only the R of the order. So let's move to the table view, And when we come to the table view, you can see we have orders table with us and we have the time. So here what we will do is we will introduce a new column with us, and after introducing a new column, we will change it to r, and we have an r function available with us, and we will give the time to this function. Okay, so 1 second, let's come back to r, and here we will give orders dot time, and let's enter and see the result. So you can see that from the time we have extracted our hours from for all the orders. Now let's move to the visualization, and in the matrix visualization, let's add the data as required. So we have created a visual, and let's change some data. We entered weekday for rows. Let's add hours from the orders table. Why it's not showing us? Let's come back to, let's again write this r, and let's select the order time. Let's close this dax function. So we get the r. Let's again come back to visualization, and here let's add the r. So here you can see that we have added the weekdays as well as the hour for each day for which the pizza restaurant is open. So you can see that from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. the restaurant is open, and here we can add, let's add total revenue. So here you can see that we get a matrix which is giving the total revenue on hour to hour basis for each day. However, these values are not giving a clearer picture to us. So what should we do is, let's format it a bit. Let's come to the column subtotal. If we want to do the column subtotal, we can add it, but let's remove the row subtotal as we have already available with us. Sorry, we will remove the column subtotals and we keep the row subtotal with us. Okay, so here you can see that we have the row subtotal. Now let's change the cell elements. So for the total revenue, let's add a background color. Okay, so that we can identify which R is having the most revenues. Okay, so if we on the background color, you can see that the 12 p.m. is where the orders and revenues are higher. Also, you can see it is more for around 5 to 6 p.m. also, that we have the higher revenue, and from 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. it is having very less revenue, and so on. And similarly for 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. it is also having a less revenue. We can change the background color as we want. So we can add, for the lowest value, we can add a middle color also. So for the middle color, we have this. For the lowest value we have this, and for the highest value we have this. So let's see how it changes. So you can see that for the highest values, the color is blue, that is for 12 p.m. the most of the sales is happening, and here you can see the blue tone is more than the yellow tone. That means in 6 p.m. also around 5 to 6 p.m. the sales is also higher. So this gives our R by R representation of revenue. Okay, now what we want is that we want to check our revenues and orders on the basis of the previous month revenue and orders. So how we can do is we have to create some measures for our previous month orders and previous month revenues. So what we will do is, let's come on the measures table and let's create a new measure, that is previous month orders and previous month revenues. So so what will be our measure? Let's make it previous month revenue. Okay, for previous month revenue we will use a calculate function, and here we will have to give the expression. So as we are calculating total revenue, so we will add the total revenue. So calculate function will filter out our expression based on some certain conditions that we put in the calculate function. So for previous month, what we will do is we will use date add, and now we want to give a date column. So we will use our calendar table, and here we will give calendar date. Okay, and by how much we want to go in previous? Only for previous month, so we will add -1. Okay, for only last month. Now if we want for previous day, we can add day. If we want for previous month, we can add month, for quarter and year also. So let's add month, and let's close this function. Let's close calculate function, and this is our previous month revenue. Okay, so how can you can check it? Let's see how can we check this. So to check whether we have created a right formula or not, what we will do is we will create a table, and in the table we will add first of all our month name. So it's arranged presently in alphabetical order. So first let's change this in our table view. Let's come to the calendar table, and for the month name we will sort this column by the start of the month. Okay, or you can add a month number also. So let's add a month number, or you can add from the date. You can order the same by the date. So let's order it by date. Okay, yes, so we have to add a month number column. So let's add a new column, and here we will give month number, and here we will add month, and here we will give our date. And let's close this, and this will give our month number. Let's make it small o. Okay, so this is perfect. Now we want to sort our month name on the basis of the month number. So here we will select the month number. Okay, and similarly for the weekday name also, instead of getting the weekdays in the alphabetical order in our matrix, we want as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we will sort it by weekday. Okay, so this will sort our metrics or our visualization on a traditional category, that is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and for month also it will be like January, February, March. You can see the changes will be done in these matrices as well as in this table also. So you can see that now the weekday name is starting from Monday, Tuesday up to Sunday, and similarly the month name is also changing here. Now in this table, as we want to see whether we have created previous month revenue correct or not, we will add first of all the total revenue. So it will give the month wise revenue. Okay, this is perfect. For month 1, that is January, we have $69,793. Now let's add a previous month revenue. So when we will add previous month revenue, you can see that for the first month it is blank as we don't have any previous month before January. But for the February month, we have $69,793 that is for pre of January month. So this is creating a previous month revenue measure. Okay, so as we have verified that we are getting a perfect result, what we will do is we will copy paste the formula and we will create this for orders also. Okay, so let's create one new measure. So for the new measure, let's copy paste our formula, and instead of revenue, what we will give is orders. And here also in the calculate formula, we will change to total orders. Okay, this is perfect, and let's run this. Okay, so we have created a previous month revenue and a previous month orders measure. Now what we will do is we will use, let's first of all remove this table, and here we will come on the charts, and here we will use our KPI. So let's select KPI, and here we will giving our value. So what value we will give? We will give here total revenue. Okay, and for the trend axis, what we will give is we will use the month name. Okay, and for the target, we will use the previous month. So here we will give the previous month revenue. So you can see that we are calculating our total revenue on the basis of the previous month revenue. Okay, so if you want to see how this KPI is functioning, what we can do is let's add a slicer, and in the slicer let's add the month name, and let's select February. So here you can see that for the February month, the revenue is $65,160. However, our goal was $69,790. That is, we get a decrease of 6.64%. Similarly, we can see for March also. For March, it is good. That is, there is an increase in the revenue by 8.04%. Similarly, we can see for April month also. and so on. So the same card we will create for the orders also. So let's just copy paste it and come here, and let's remove the value to total orders. Let's select total orders, and instead of previous month revenue we will add target as previous month orders. So this is looking great. We have created a KPI that is giving us the revenue and orders based on our previous month. So this is the complete chart that is created for visualizing the seasonal trend of our restaurant. Okay, from this matrix chart you can create some conclusions. That is, on the weekdays you can see from Monday to Friday we are getting a blue section here, that is a blue background. It means that in the weekdays the revenue is higher from uh, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., that is in the lunch time. However, the trend is not similar for Saturday and Sunday because it is a weekend. And if you go on this part, you can see that the for Saturday Sunday the income or the revenue of the restaurant is higher between 5 p.m. and the 6 p.m. Okay, so these type of visualizations and conclusions we can make using our dashboard. So we have created two pages in the dashboard. First of all, we have created an executive dashboard that will give a complete overview of our pizza restaurant, and then we have created a seasonal trend dashboard. Okay, now the third dashboard that we will add is getting a product by product detail. That is, if we want to see our complete analysis for a particular pizza, we can do the same also. So first of all, let's add a slicer. It is a temporary slicer. We will remove it uh, after some time. Let's add our slicer here. Okay, so the first chart that we will add is the card. Okay, you can add gauge chart also. So let's add gauge chart. Here we have added a gauge chart. Okay, now the value here should be given as the total revenue. Okay, so this is presently giving the complete revenue, and for this gauge chart, if we want to do the same analysis like what was the revenue for the previous month, we can add some filters here. So how we will add filters here? So let's add the total revenue in the data field, and let's add first of all, let's add pizza name. Okay, so no, here as we want our analysis based on the month, so here we should add our month. Okay, so let's add month name. Okay, and instead of basic filtering we will come at top n, and here we will add top 1, and which value we will sort it by start of the month, and instead of earliest we will switch it to latest, and we will apply filter. Okay, so if we select the barbecue chicken pizza, we are getting our revenue for the present month, and we will get the revenue for the previous month. So there is one more method that we can do is, here we can add the maximum value as for the previous month. So when we add the maximum value, you can see that here the chart is changed, that is it is giving the present month as well as for the previous month. How we can check it? Let's add a slicer, and here let's add the calendar, and here let's take start of the month. Let's take month name, and if we switch to February, you can see the God chart is changing. That is for January. We don't have any previous data, but we know that for the January month, the barbecue chicken pizza has a revenue of 3.77k. But for the February month, it reaches to only 3.42k. However, our target was 3.77k for the from the previous month. Similarly, if we go on the March, we have outperformed our revenue targets. That is, we have the previous target as 3.42k from the previous month. However, our present achievement was 4.05k. So this is giving a overview on the total revenue and the previous month revenue. Okay, so we can do the same analysis for the orders also. So let's add, instead of total revenue, we can add total orders, and instead of maximum value as revenue, we can add previous month orders. So now it is giving how the orders is changing for a particular pizza for a particular month. Okay, so these are the God charts that we have created. Now if we want to see a particular what is the bifurcation of pizza on the basis of size, so we can use the donut chart for the same. So for the donut chart, let's add the legends, and the legends will be the pizza size. So here we will add size, and for the values we will add the revenue. Okay, so now this is giving us the bifurcation of a particular pizza by its size. That is, the large pizza has the maximum proportion of revenue, then we have our medium pizza, then we have our small pizza. If we change it, we will get a different number. Okay, so we are getting this like this. Let's shift it a bit and let's arrange it like this. Now if we want to see the ingredients, we can add a KPI card, and let's enlarge it a bit, and in the field section let's add the ingredients. So this is giving the ingredients that are being used in this pizza. That is, the as we have selected the chicken pesto pizza, it is giving the ingredients in this. If we change to barbecue, we will get the ingredients used in this barbecue. We can format it, this visualization. So let's come to call out value and reduce its size to, let's say, 25. Okay, this is perfect. We can change the background from white to black, and let's add a visual border, and let's add a shadow. Okay, we can change the call out value, and let's change it to this color. Okay, it's perfect. Also, we can remove the category label, as we are giving a category of our own. So reduce it a bit like this. Let's remove this also, and let's keep it here. Now if you want the month on month uh, analysis of a particular pizza, what we can do is we can add a line chart also, or we can create a area chart also. It's belong, so it depends on your choice. And here we will add a x-axis, and which at x-axis we want our month. Let's add date. Okay, and on the y-axis let's add the total revenue. So let's remove quarter, year also. So we are getting a bifurcation of uh, revenue on month basis for a particular pizza, that is the barbecue chicken pizza. If you want a secondary access, we can add a secondary access on like pizza sold. So on adding the pizza sold, we are getting a similar kind of chart. Okay, as revenue is proportional to pizza sold as well as orders. So if you want, you can show the same pizza sold and revenue on a different chart, but if you want to do on the same chart, you can do the same like this. Now what we want is that we don't want to come on this page and select the pizza here. We want to drill down or drill through a particular pizza from our executive chart only. Like if we want, if like for example, if we come on executive chart and here we are getting a overview, that is for a particular pizza, the revenue is this and orders is this. That is, if we click on this, we are getting different factors like what is the revenue, what is the size, and this. But this is not changing. Okay, this is not changing. So we want to drill through from this chart to that page, that is our product details page. Let's name this to product details page. Okay, so how we can do this? Let's don't So the method to do is, don't select any visualization on this chart. For in the format section, we know we have a page information, and if we change the page type from standard to drill through, now this page has become a drill through page. Okay, and how we want to drill through? We will add a drill through by name. So let's select name. Okay, now what it means that this page will be drilled through by the name. So how we can check it? Let's remove this chart and let's add a card also, so that it will give the pizza name. And let's change some options here. First of all, let's change the feeds from ingredients to name. Okay, presently it is this, and let's change the format also. Instead of this color, make it a standard color that we are using. So this is giving the data on the basis of barbecue chicken pizza. Now if we go on the executive dashboard and suppose we want to drill through for this classic deluxe pizza, so we will right click on it, we will come on drill through, and now you can see that the product details page is showing for the drill through feature. So we will click on this and we will directly come for this table. That is, now it is showing for classic deluxe pizza, and it is showing the ingredients of only the classic deluxe pizza. All the charts are related to classic deluxe pizza. Okay, so this is fine by us. Now we have our product by product details clearly, because these details are not required by upper management. If they want to see the performance of particular pizza, they can come on this page instead of getting all the details from our executive dashboard. Okay, so the last thing that we are going to add in this dashboard is the parameters. So what is a parameter? Parameter will help to change the fields so that we can change our measures dynamically. How we can add is, we will come on the modeling page, modeling tab, and we will come on the new parameter and we will add fields. Now in the fields, we will name our parameter as performance metric metrics. And now we will add some parameters. And what will be our parameters? We will add total revenue as our first metric. Then we will add the total orders as our second metric. Then if you want, we can add pizza sold as our third metric, and we can add average order value as our fourth metric. Okay, and we want a slicer to add on this page. So let's create a parameter. So now if you come on the data of our data set, first of all you can see that a slicer has been created for our parameters. Okay, this is our performance metric slicer, so that when we select on the total revenue, these two charts should show total revenue by category as well as size. When we select total orders, this chart should show total orders based on category and size. Okay, if we want pizza sold, we can show these two charts should show pizza sold by category and size, but presently it is not doing anything. Okay, at the back, at the back end you can see that Power BI has created a new table and use this DEX formula. Okay, so how we can change these charts? So what we will do is we will go on the data, and instead of selecting total revenue, what we will do is we will add performance metrics. Okay, so now you can see that this chart is showing pizza sold by category. When we change it to total orders, this will show total orders by category, and you can see the charts is changing, the values is also changing. So this is a great feature if you want to show multiple charts on a single dashboard. Okay, so from this you can see we are getting total revenue by category. Similarly, we can change this chart also, and instead of using a static measure that is total revenue, we can here add performance metric measure, that is this. Now you can see the total revenue by category as well as the total revenue by size. If we switch it over to total orders, it will show the total orders by category as well as total orders by size. Okay, as we have not selected, it is showing everything. We don't want everything, we can add total orders also. We can format it also as you want. So this is our complete structure of the dashboard. One thing that is left is we want to change our all pages, that is seasonal trend and the product details that we have created based on our slices that we have created on our first page, that is on executive dashboard page. So how we are going to do is, let's come on view, and here you can see that we have sync slicers. So how we are going to sync slicer, that is we will come on the month name, we will select the month name, and you can see that this month name slicer is visible on the first page, that is on executive dashboard, but and it is applying on the same dashboard only. What we will do is we will select seasonal trend also and select product details also. So this slicer will be applicable on all the three charts. Okay, but it will be showing this slicer on all the three pages also. We don't want this, so we will remove the visualization part. Okay, now this slicer is changing all the charts, but is visible only the first part only. Similarly, we can do this for weekday name also. Let's do the same, remove this, and for category also we can do, let's select this and this. We have selected everything, and let's remove it for this. Okay, now we have synced our slicers for all the pages, as you can see here. Let's remove from here, let's remove it. So if you select any particular month, let's select Feb month. Okay, so our total revenue, orders, and all the KPIs have changed. Our orders have changed, our sizes, the orders by category has changed, orders by size has changed, revenues has changed, top revenue pizza, least revenue pizza has changed. When we come on the seasonal trend also, this chart is also changed. You can see it is showing for Feb only, and it's projecting for March. Similarly, all our KPIs has changed, all our matrices has changed. Even for the product details, if you see, this is also changed because it's showing for February month. Okay, so you can see that we have used most of the features that are available in the Power BI to create this dashboard. Usually all the features are not required, but as this is a complete portfolio project, we have used most of the things in this dashboard, starting from importing the data to creating data modeling, to perform data modeling, to creating measures. We have created explicit measures for our each and every calculations. We have not used any measures from the tables only. Then we have created different visualizations. We have used cards, we have used new cards that are available in the Power BI. We have created parameters, we have created slicers, we have created previous month measures also that will give us the previous month analysis. We have created a measures, we have created matrices also. We have used forecast and trend line also. Then we have switched to product details, where we have used drill through feature. We have used got charts, we are getting ingredients. So this is the complete dashboard that is required to understand Power BI, how the data analysis and data visualization is done in Power BI. So thank you, this is the conclusion of this video series. If you like this video, please click on the like button, share it with your peers, and subscribe the channel to get more and more projects on data science. Thank you.